All right, Espo.
Yes.
Here we go again, man. The contract proposals have been out by a few locals. I don't know if you got a chance to read them. You get a chance? No. No, they're no good.
Okay.
Now, our local has not told us anything. Now, transparency is a must. Now, in 2013, I was with those guys, and I know you've always been not with them.
Yes.
So this is very important to all of us. But to me, it just has an extra oomph to it because I was loyal to them. I believed them, and then to find out what happened, it just totally, just kind of crushed my belief in leadership. So now here we go again. It's 2018, another contract. Now, we can't have that this time. We can't have it. That can happen. The proposals that we saw from other locals, they had one where they want to change the work week, any given days, any
Willow
day.
Grove already has that.
What? No consecutive days?
They have any 5 and 7.
Any 5 through 7. Okay. Wow.
That would change a lot of perspective for a lot of married people.
Yes.
In their overall life situation,
Right.
no doubt. Because
Right.
once you get to break it apart, and you're like one day off a day,
Right.
it changes
Right.
everything.
Right.
Obviously, they want to go after Black Friday, which is
Yeah.
double time. A lot of people
Right.
have
Right.
said, "No way, I don't
No
want
way.
that. I'd rather
Right.
have the double time
Right.
check, which is more
Double
important."
time and get paid for the holiday.
Yes.
So that do a lot of Christmas shopping for our children,
Yes.
for our spouses.
It's like a little Christmas bonus.
Right. You can knock it all out in one day,
One day.
but they want to take that away.
Take that.
What else did I see? I saw something about keeping the utility drivers longer
No way.
than what they are now.
No way.
So-
Utility drivers, when they're inside there, pay $1 an hour to the pension fund. They take away from drivers,
Right.
regular drivers,
Right.
regular contributions to the pension
Right.
fund. That time needs to be reduced.
Right. It does.
Yeah.
Right.
Jim Merritt and their slate took that away and added in a rough period from September all the way up to October 31st. So now it went from June
Right.
to the second week in January.
Wow.
So, now. So as UPS has this, I guess, loophole for a cheaper driver, they still really don't use it because, as we've all seen, the packages get left in the building.
Yes. We saw that a lot. Especially this peak season. Packages just left. Even still today, packages just left in the building. But getting back to the contract, which is, I know it's in about 6 months. 6 months. And they done had about 4 or 5 meetings, and still nothing they told us. Nothing. That's the problem.
I think the bigger thing here was the story that I heard that Ron Finley had with what the proposals were for the company and the union in the last contract,
Right.
and they're spreading that around.
Right.
I've also seen them try to say fact or fiction because they're afraid that people are going to get the truth and put it out there, and
Right.
all of a sudden, while they're trying to tell
The fiction.
fiction
Right.
rather than the fact,
Right.
which they've been known to do.
Right.
I mean,
And that's where we are tonight, today, because there was too much fiction and no facts. No facts. We in our last video we talked about the healthcare. Now, this month we had to start paying that deductible. Had a part-timer a couple of days ago. She comes up to me, "Hey Hooker, how does that work?" I said, "Well, are you single or married?" She said, I'm married. I got a family." I said, "Well, sis, you got to pay $200. She said, $200? Hook, I don't even make $200 in a week.
That's very true.
And that's sad. That's sad. I know healthcare is not the only issue, but that's pretty much made up the biggest issue that we had.
For long-term people at UPS, the benefits are an issue.
Yes. Yes.
You usually have a family,
Yes.
something going on. That's why you're really staying there at UPS part-time. Otherwise, you get a better paying job or doing something else.
Right. And then the whole extended progression. That was a big issue, especially if you're going through it. Now, I don't know if you had a chance to do all just a roundabout estimate of how much money the local is using as a whole. 75 jobs at roughly around $15,000 to $20,000 throughout the life of the progression. $3 million. $3 million. That's a lot of money. That's our families, our children, our loved ones are not getting it. Not because we did anything wrong, but because of the fiction. And that's a problem. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. And that cannot happen.
Let's not overlook this, okay? Utility drivers, when they start utility drivers, start the progression period towards the top rate. But inside, we got part-timers that working full-time, then they go full-time, but they don't have that same kind of, what am I looking for? They don't have the same kind of standard
Right.
that the utility drivers have. That's a problem.
Right.
Now you already been working full-time for who knows how long, and then
Right.
you got to put another 3, 4, whatever years, how many it is.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 4 years now.
Right.
Right. But you should have probably only put in maybe 6 months because you've been working full time for years.
Right. For years, right.
For years.
Right. And that's a problem that we have in our union as a whole. Not just our local, you know, but most of our dues go to our local leaders. And they have failed us. They have, no matter what you hear or what they might say, we paying for a service that we're not getting. We're not getting it. We are not getting it. There's no way you can take our money and then absolve yourself from the responsibility of being transparent with what you're doing with how we take care of our families. You got to be up front with the, hey, the contract is no good. This is what's happening. Then I think that will alleviate some of the problems we're having now. But when you're not transparent, Espo, you have no trust. Transparency equals
Great
trust.
Yeah.
The more transparent you are,
Yes.
the more trust you gain.
Yes.
The less transparent you are, I got to step away from this situation. But in all of this, they're still taking our money.
I think we all pay dues for one purpose: to achieve terms and conditions of an employment, for the hall to sit there and make us whole for
Right.
infractions against those terms and
Right.
conditions of employment. It's really that simple. Everybody just got to feel the same way.
You have to. You have to. No
You
matter.
can't sell out another person by
Right.
accepting less anymore.
Right. And that's the thing. We're being sold out. Sold out. And we're still paying them. and that's the thing. No matter what happens, we're still paying them.
6-figure salaries. 6.
Yes. Yes. You know, and the whole thing is we all got to get involved. That's why we want to do this video. Everybody has to get involved. You can't sit on the sideline. You got to get in the game.
Yes.
This is the fourth quarter. 2 minutes left. And we are down a whole lot. We are down a whole lot. They done took everything that was important to a lot of us is gone. It's gone. Now we're hearing that there may not be any more full-time jobs coming up in this contract. Now, just say if I was a 15-year member, part-timer, and I've been waiting to get the full-time job. Here it is, the contract coming up. I'm hopeful. I'm thinking that I might get one. Then they tell me no, you may not get one. Just think about that. If you guys get a chance, go on our page, 623 Lives Matter, and look at some of the proposals that were posted by other locals. You know, they were transparent. You can't argue with anybody, especially a leader, when they're transparent. You may not like them. You may not feel comfortable with them, but if they're transparent with you, then you can trust them. You can trust them. No matter what they look like, what side of town they're from. If they are transparent, you can trust them. And that's what we don't have. We don't have it. It's those that have nothing to hide nothing. There's no reason, especially when you're taking our money. And that's the thing that I wish people understand. They are taking our money. And with this whole thing, the right to work coming up, man, and I'm fearful. I am, because I know a lot of people they tend to, when they talk about the union, they kind of lump our leadership with that and say, hey, well, the union's not doing this. No, we are the union. We, not those guys, we are. We're the ones doing the back-breaking work. We're the ones out there delivering packages. We're the ones out there sorting them. We're the ones doing that. They're not. And I don't want you guys to think that we're trying to beat those guys up, because we're not. I have the utmost love and respect for all of them. Always will, always have. Always. That's just who I am. But that doesn't absolve them from their job as being our leaders. Especially when they're taking out money.
It's about a duty to the membership to
Yes.
preserve and protect the benefits gained through collective bargaining, which is in the bylaws, which is what they're supposed to do.
Yes.
That is their job. That's their job for you, job for me, job for Hooker, for everybody else that stands around you.
Yes.
Whether you like them or not, they're supposed to get the same equal treatment.
Right, to
all
everybody.
around.
Everybody. You can't fight hard for this man to save his job, but then because I don't support you or you don't like me, we're just gonna let you sit out or possibly lose your job. That's not how this goes. You know, that's not how this goes. That's not what unionism is. That's not what unionism is. Unionism is collective, all together, all equal, all on the same path. There's no division. It's not supposed to be. That's another thing that we gotta fix. We fight each other very, very well. We do, but we will not stand up and fight for each other or against the company. We won't do it. We won't do it. They dominate us daily, and we don't do anything about it.
I wouldn't say we don't do anything.
Yeah.
A lot of members file grievances. The bad taste gets left in their mouth
yes.
when nothing happens.
When nothing
I've heard
happens.
Time and time again.
Yes.
They want to file retaliation grievances, but Unity says, no, well, it's only a one-time thing. First of all, any kind of retaliatory behavior will persist on and on unless you document it. And
Right.
you document it through the grievance procedure. It might take more than one grievance to be successful, but that's what it takes.
Right.
It takes time and time.
Time and time.
Documentation.
Right.
That's what it takes.
And don't give up. I know a lot of people don't want to file the grievances. I know it gets frustrating that you have to file the grievance for something that's paid. You know, you would think that the company we work for shouldn't have a problem with paying you. And trust me, I get frustrated filing them. Every week you got to file a grievance to get your money. I get that, but don't stop. Because the moment you stop is the moment they win. And that's what we can't. We gotta keep fighting no matter what. No matter what. No matter if you feel like you're not gaining ground, still fight. You just can't lay down. Because no fight, no victory. If you fight, at least you got a chance. But we gotta fight, and we gotta fight together, not against each other. Can't do that. Can't do that.
Let's talk about the part-time wages. That's a really big thing.
Yeah.
Inside Seattle, the minimum wage is going to be $15 an hour. Pittsburgh passed legislation; they want $15 an hour minimum wage. Around the country, the minimum wage is a lot different, and it's higher than the starting rate here for the all other starting rate at $10 an hour in a few different places across the country. So that starting rate's got to get bumped up.
Yeah, it has to.
And there has to be that traditional $1 bump of some sort
Right.
for those positions.
Right.
You know, if the minimum wage is, let's say, $15 an hour, then the bump's got to be at least $1, and it should be more. Because you
Right.
want to encourage people to do certain jobs, and there's jobs in there, as we all know, people don't want to do.
Right.
Unless there's some kind of financial
Incentive,
benefit to them.
Right.
And let me say, gosh, an extra $20 a week, that's not really an extra, incentive for a part-timer.
Right.
Oh, let me go do this job for an extra $20 a week
Right.
because I'm only getting 20 hours. Even if you got 40 hours, it's only $40. It's not enough. You need something like $4 or $5 an hour
Right.
to really make it worth your while.
Yeah, they have to bump that wage up, and I think they're going to do it, and regardless of negotiations, because with competition with Amazon and all these guys paying people $13 an hour benefits, I think UPS has no choice, because this last peak, man, we was getting hours. The checkbook was open because they couldn't keep people. And I think now more than ever they're gonna have to, if they want to stay competitive and keep the product that they say they're the best at. You're gonna have to get the people in there.
Turnover rates are at an all-time high, UPS.
Well,
All-time high, I think.
people not gonna keep working for $10.20 an hour.
Well, the best is that the minimum wage, by everybody knows, is $10.20 an
Right.
hour. Then the contract is reflected as $10 an
right,
hour
right.
because someone did not correctly fix it in the collective bargaining process the last time they were negotiating. I'm going to leave out who that was because that was
Right.
that group.
Yeah.
And it starts from the top down because that era exists in
Yeah.
the master language.
Yeah.
And it's all around the same time that the agreement was getting settled when Obama put it in place.
Right. Right.
Very, very important.
Yeah. But you guys, we gotta stay united. We got to. This contract is a. I hate to say it, but it's make or break for the Teamsters. It really is. This is the largest private sector contract that the Teamsters have. If this contract is bad, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for our families. It's not going to be good for the next generation of Teamsters. And that's what we got to do. We got to get back to that. We got to get back to that.
What would you do to encourage people rather than discourage people?
But what I do?
Yeah.
Well, this is what I would do. Some of the things we've been doing now, I would have meetings outside. Hey, here's go a shirt. Here goes some literature. Find out what we're all about. And I wouldn't just come around on election time. I would do it when I don't need something from you. And that's a big problem. These guys only come when they want something from us.
I would say that they do come down organically. They come down.
Right.
But what they, like Hooker said, they don't come down with a piece of paper saying, here's some legislative
Right.
issues that you need to follow.
Right.
This might affect us.
Right.
That's the things that they should be doing by hitting that with a group member and not with the business agents that are in there with your alternate stewards,
Right.
or stewards,
Right.
or rank and file members.
Mhm.
So they get involved and they get encouraged to be
Right.
a part of the system
Right.
rather than discouraged and
Right.
say, hey, I know this guy, but I don't really feel connected to him.
Right.
Because
Right.
we're a group and we gotta feel connected together in order to
Right.
win.
Right.
Because divided we fall, together we win.
Together we win.
Ask those guys in New York. They all stood together and they won.
Yeah.
Because they all got their jobs back.
Right.
Even when they walked out.
Right. Everybody got to stand together. That's the key. Together, not divided. Together. So like I said, man, this is crucial. 6 months left. I'm hoping that we don't go on strike, but if we do, I hope you guys have taken the necessary precautions. One of the worst things that could happen is, we go on strike and you guys have to, struggle to get things that your family needs. So I'm hoping that, both sides can come to a good agreement for us, because we deserve it, man. We do. That last one, the one we on now, horrible.
I was talking with Billy Morris about that. And he says that nobody doesn't pay, people pay for their benefits, but we don't pay for our benefits. Well, now we're paying $200, and we're paying extra payments that other people might not pay.
Right.
Like when you go to the
Right.
doctor, put a $10 copay, then they do a test or something, then you're getting the bill for the test on the mail,
Right.
the mail on top. Now, I don't
That's-
know if that's what Team Care is supposed to be like, but honestly, I mean,
that's not what they told us in the beginning.
that's clearly not what Ken Hall was saying. He
No.
says, it's
No.
very, 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 very close.
Right.
Not really close because I'm getting these other charges which can
Yes.
cost me
Hundreds of-
astronomical amounts of
Right.
money.
Yes. Because that happened to me, Espo. I had my daughter, when she was younger, when this first came 5 years ago, when she was about 7. So asthma, really, really bad. Not too bad now, but back then. So what would happen is she would go into the hospital, right? And if they didn't keep her, of course, we got to pay for the emergency.
Yes.
So what would happen, even if they did keep her, Team Care would pay their part. But CHOP would send me a bill on the side, say, hey, Mr. Hooker, you need to pay $400 or something. And I would get bills $420, $330, $16, $70. Guess how many bills I got with the old insurance?
0.
0 bills. So don't tell me something mirrors something when it doesn't. It really doesn't. But, I could go on all day.
I think there needs to be an accounting done so we determine what our money is purchasing with the plan,
Yes.
which is self-insured, which is the cheapest way to run a health insurance plan. And Team Care is fitting the bill. They're mixed with a whole bunch of other unions.
Yes.
And there's no transparency
None.
in that particular system to say exactly what they contribute, how much raises they're putting into their healthcare coverage versus what UPS does. It's very important that this transparency exists.
Yeah, we need to have it. I mean,
Because if our standards go even lower than they are today with the healthcare,
right.
we'll have to do a study and start looking around online and find out, what's the true cost that everybody's really paying for their healthcare benefits around?
Right.
Because if I could really go and use the doctor like I wanted to, you know, what if I spend $6,000 or $5,000 a year? Some guys in our locals pay that much because they really use the benefits a lot.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But there's certain services that are uncovered, and you still got to end up paying, even though you're past the deductible is $2,000.
Right. That happened to me.
Well, it's $2,200 now.
Yeah.
That's right.
It happened to me. So, but like I said, that whole issue, team care has been a problem. The whole contract is a really problem. I mean, the harassment that they said it was going to go away, that it was going to be stiffer on, harassment has gotten worse.
I think there needs to be stronger language concerning job preference for down at the airport too. Like, you establish a job, you see where the time is, you know what a 40-hour job is, you're bidding, you know, Bill Smith's job, then that's the job you're going to get. Bill Smith's job.
Bill Smith's job.
Annual bids, which, you know, we're going to have preload has, the drivers have, the feeder guys have semi-annual bids. Needs to happen for them too.
Yeah.
They need to be able to shift the work around to wherever those jobs are that UPS feels is placed in that.
Yeah.
You know, because they ultimately decide where the work is and where it's at. You know, I mean, they choose to run the operation, but if there's 8 hours worth of work or however many hours are in there, then they should have it go in seniority order.
Right. Yeah, but look, you guys, man, we just want to tell you guys that we appreciate you guys for the support. We love you guys. Man, we trying to do something special here at Local 623. It needs to happen regardless of what you may think. Change needs to happen. We cannot keep going down this road constantly. Because you see what happens. You see what happens. Look at this 70-hour rule. They just did that with no negotiation, no nothing. And they just let them do it.
I think too, it's not just about our local. It's about the locals around us.
Yeah.
384, 676,
500,
326, right? That's the one down in Delaware.
Delaware, yeah, all of
Right,
us.
326.
All the joint council, man. We got to come together. And
all those people that UPS represents in this particular area that we're a part of, and you know, when we want something, they'll say, well, these other guys didn't want that, or they don't do the same thing you do because they're a little bit different.
Right.
We all got to come together, find a common thread, join together, and stick with those set of rules, and make sure that UPS is held accountable for that.
That's the thing right there. That's the theme of this whole video. Together.